They were an amazing couple, the extravagant and eccentric Grace Jones and the brutal Universal soldier Dolph Lundgren. He was persistently engaged in karate and was able to achieve very impressive success in this field, but he became famous for his Black Amazon. Their romance lasted for several years. Every appearance of an unusual couple in the light attracted attention, but the wedding march in their honor has never been played. Hans Lundgren was once an ordinary teenager who once abruptly changed his life by going to karate. Since then, he began to train hard, learned not to feel pain, and not to feel pity for his opponent. After winning the Swedish Karate Championship, Lundgren became convinced that he had no equal. For 3 years, he held the title of Swedish champion, and in 1979, he won the Open Championship of Great Britain. He became captain of the national team, and this was followed by a succession of victories in the championships at various levels. The sphere of his interests were not limited to sports. Lundgren, in addition to karate, was endowed with outstanding intellectual abilities. He graduated from the Institute of Technology in Stockholm with a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, then in the same specialty received a master's degree, but already at the University of Sydney. In Hollywood, about Lundgren and today walk the legends, which extol both its physical data and the level of his intelligence. In particular, it is believed that his IQ exceeds 160, but the actor himself laughingly denies the presence of his genius. However, it will take a long time until Hans has to give his first interview. Meanwhile, it is 1983. He serves as a bouncer in a nightclub in King's Cross and is preparing to move to Boston since he was able to get a grant to study at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. But he moved to the U.S. no longer alone, but with the incredible Grace Jones. The Jamaican singer at that time was a real star and became famous not only for her outstanding appearance and voice, but also as one of the most eccentric persons of the time. Grace was capable of any craziness, which she explained by the fact that she was bored to live quietly. She was 9 years older than Lundgren, but she looked truly stunning. Noticing a brutal bouncer at a nightclub in Sydney, where she was performing that night, Grace immediately hired him as her bodyguard. She always got what she wanted, and soon Hans was in the bed of the extravagant beauty. At first, Lundgren's male ego was hurt because, in fact, Grace Jones was using him for fun. But soon he was almost in love with her. However, the Black Panther is unlikely to leave anyone indifferent. She shared secular news with her lover, told stories about celebrities, and Lundgren listened to her with interest, as with this side of life was not familiar. Grace has always helped her boys. The romance with Lundgren was in full swing when Jones was offered to star in the next series of Bondiana, and she made a patronage for Hans, agreeing to work in the picture only in exchange for a small role for her lover, and she also advised Hans to change his name to something more sonorous. Then he became Dolph Lundgren, quite a small role in the life of yesterday's karate player blast bomb effect. He suddenly realized what he wanted to do in life, not in sports or science, but filming movies. When he appeared at the casting for the role of a Russian boxer in the movie Rocky IV, Bridget Nielsen, Stallone's wife, who conducted an audition, did not even look at him. Dolph Lundgren was too tall, but here again the aspiring actor came to the aid of Grace Jones. She advised him not to worry and go to a photo shoot to make spectacular photos in action poses. The pictures were later given to Stallone personally by Grace. Sylvester Stallone agreed to take him on the role of Ivan Drago, but on the condition that Dolph Lundgren grows muscles before filming, and he promised that Lundgren would wake up famous after the release of Rocky IV. Dolph trained day and night and was able to bring his body to near perfection. Grace Jones, the irrepressible Amazon, was known for his passion for experiments in the bedroom. As recalled later, actor filming in Rocky also remembered him by the fact that Grace is often brought home girlfriends with whom they spent the night together. And in the morning, Dolph Lundgren got up and went into the ring with Sylvester Stallone. When Dolph Lundgren and Grace Jones arrived at the premiere of Rocky, All the attention of the audience was drawn to the dark-skinned beauty. But the next morning, when they appeared together on the street, all eyes were devoted to Dolph. Star role has brought fame to the actor, but with it, and the parting of Grace for the role of Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren received a very decent fee and immediately moved to Los Angeles, renting an apartment there. Grace could not stand the city and chose to stay in New York. In addition, the agent hired by Dolph categorically forbade the actor to maintain contact with the singer, believing that communication with her would damage the reputation of Dolph. But Grace Jones was not going to put up with such a situation, and having decided that her lover was being held by force in Los Angeles, she went to save him, taking a loaded gun with her. As the singer admitted afterward, it was a desperation move. She didn't intend to shoot anyone, but just wanted to make sure the handsome blonde would go after her. She broke down the doors of his apartment, screamed about shooting, and was determined to free her lover by all means. True, it was Dolph Lundgren who was wounded as a result. He did not write a police report on Grace, but since then any relationship was out of the question. You have to hand it to Dolph. He still thanked Grace for everything she did for him, and he promised never to forget her. They each began their own life, but the memory of this incredible romance keeps the old photos in which Dolph Lundgren and Grace Jones is so young and beautiful. However, the actor has kept his word. He has not forgotten those crazy and full of passion days that spent next to the incredible Grace. We will not say that the set of the Dream Factory gets people from the street, but not everyone can shine with their diplomas. Hollywood actors in their majority are just students of acting courses and graduated from college at most, and even fewer can boast of graduating from a prestigious university and having a high IQ like Dolph Lundgren.